This channel is being excessively censored by YouTube and SPLC's pure liberal bias.
This channel has been known to trigger leftists and trolls alike. Proceed with extreme caution. You have been warned.
It was here, room 221, where police arrested 30-year-old Donald Stafford for allegedly murdering his wife in Kansas, leaving her body in a dumpster.
The man they're looking for is a black man in his 20s with shoulder-length dreadlocks.
Police say she was on her way to work when 4 teens tried to rob her and then shot her
You
to
took
death.
her from me. There will be no forgiveness for you.
Sometimes we did physically get into altercations, but it wasn't ever beat down. I did positively impact her life. That's why we was together for so long.
Henrico police have made an arrest in the January shooting death of a woman found inside a townhouse off Staples Mill Road.
Police say she was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
She saw what was happening. She tried to run out of the store, but was shot twice in the back. She died from her injuries right there on the mat in front of the door.
Police say a fight broke out inside the bar and carried on outside, just as Jenny was leaving. She was tragically hit by one of the bullets fired.
Well, Ellen, earlier today, police here in Kansas City, Missouri, made a desperate plea for help from the public. They need to find a man they say shot and killed Jacqueline Burkhart.
4 teenagers, including one who is so young we can't show you a picture, are now charged in connection with her
Just
murder.
a barrage of gunshots at the vehicle. These are frustrating, knowing that at least 3 or 4 people witnessed or were part of a homicide, and we're not getting anybody any information on it.
All of this and more on the dark Onslaught.
Damn!
Now YouTube censored. Now YouTube censored.
I'm mad as hell right now. Yes, I am.
Viewer discretion is advised. Mama Black.
This program contains language and sequences some viewers may find disturbing.
Neighborhood arresting easy tonight after Polk County deputies say a killer has been caught. Investigators say Marvin Brewer murdered Tammy Butler 2 weeks ago. Our Andrea Lyon is live in Mulberry tonight where the murder happened, and Andrea, Butler's family still has a lot of questions this evening.
Well, with Tammy Butler's face still sprawled all over these posters on each post down this road, the closure is not quite there for the family yet, but they said this is a good start to healing.
She was an outspoken person. She had a big heart.
Tammy Butler, a grandmother and mother.
She was a good person.
Her body was found inside her home nearly 2 days after she was killed.
She moved into the wrong area. You know, she should have stayed in Wisconsin.
Her family, now in town to clean up what's left, says they weren't sure what to think when they got the call.
I don't know. I was pretty much just, I don't know. You know, I don't know. That's all I could really say to myself.
Her son says she was working through a hard time in her life. Neighbors say no matter what, she didn't deserve what happened.
My husband was paranoid. He didn't want to go to work. You know, it was just really scary, you know, to know that that could happen so close to home.
Faith Engler hadn't been outside with her kids since it happened.
Once we started hearing what happened, you know, it was kids got to stay in the house. You know, we were just very paranoid because nothing like that really happens around here.
But now, relief, after investigators say they've tied Marvin Brewer's DNA to the crime. Brewer even admitting he was there the night she died.
Just a big weight lifted off my chest, you know, to know my kids can play outside again.
For the family, closure isn't quite the right word, but the arrest, they say, is a way for them to move on.
There's not really much I can say with the situation. I don't know what brought it on, but...
Detectives say a tipster also brought helpful information forward linking Brewer to Tammy's death. They will be getting a reward. Live in Polk County, Andrea Lyon, ABC Action News.
Wolves.Within learned his fate for a brutal double murder.
A judge sentenced Winston Black Jr. to 70 years behind bars. This for the fatal stabbing of David Goh and Ann Gilkerson back in 2012. Tending your sides, Mylana Belora spoke to the sister of one of the victims at court today.
It was obviously a tough day for the relatives of the victims. Every time that they're in court, they have to relive what happened to them. But learning that the man responsible for those deaths will likely spend the rest of his life in prison, that gives them some sense of relief.
Closure in the courtroom. Winston Black will serve 70 years behind bars after being found guilty in the gruesome murders of David Goff and Ann Gilkerson.
It's nice to know that this one person who was a part of this crime, the person who actually committed the act, is now in jail, will be for 70 years, we hope.
Teresa Bowers is Goff's sister and says the sentencing brings some relief, but it doesn't change what happened.
You can never bring these two human beings back, but I think he
got what the jury felt like he deserved, and the judge upheld that sentence, so we are thankful for that.
This case goes back to February 2012. Investigators say Black stabbed Goff 24 times. He then put Goff's body in an SUV and set it on fire. That same day, Black allegedly stabbed Gilkerson 123 times. Witnesses overheard Black saying Gilkerson needed to be taken care of because he thought she could connect him to Goff's murder. It's those witnesses who testified that has Black's defense questioning the verdict.
They had a lot of horrible photographs, forensic evidence, none of it directly linking the crimes to our client except for the testimony of the two witnesses who would come in under the umbrella of what we thought was very generous plea agreements.
Attorney Diane Ringer says it's not a question of what happened, but who did it.
There was no physical evidence to corroborate that Mr. Black was the perpetrator of these offenses.
Ringer says Black still maintains his innocence and they plan to appeal.
Black was sentenced to 40 years for Gilkerson's murder and 30 years for Goff's murder. Black faces murder charges for the death of another man back in November 2011. That trial begins in April. In the newsroom, I'm Marielena Valores, 10 on your side.
Thursday was UT stabbing suspect Kendrix White's first court appearance after his attorney filed a notice saying he would plead not guilty by reason of insanity. But the state wants to evaluate White on their own.
Now my expert hired by the district attorney's office is now authorized to go talk to Mr. White in jail, review all of his reports and his records, and generate a report indicating her opinion as to his sanity at the time of offense.
On May 1st, 2017, UT lost freshman Harrison Brown. Prosecutors say White stabbed him to death and injured two others. The state says they will fight to discount the insanity argument.
It presents a new challenge, but our goal is to always see that justice is done. So we need to see our report and see what our expert believes.
Harrison's mother believes the insanity plea is absurd.
No, I wasn't surprised. It's always shocking, but I was not surprised. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Shortly after his death, she dealt with another loss, her husband.
You know, every day I wake up and think and miss Harrison and my husband.
Thursday, other family members were in court to hear White and his attorneys enter the plea.
You try to put it out of your mind, but when you come back to something like this, it just brings up all of those emotions again.
Nobody has any idea what the victims go through and the families. It's a second-by-second, everyday thing that we go through.
After the state psychiatrist has evaluated White, the findings will be reported on May 8th. Harrison's family says they are putting their faith in the justice system.
Quite honestly, I know that for a defense to prove that they were insane at the time is very difficult. So I wish them luck.
I just want justice for Harrison.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Courtney Bryant. Steve Savard has the night off. Beaten, then left to die. Tonight, a South City woman's family believes she's in her final hours as her husband sits in jail. News 4's Vincent Gladden is live at SLU Hospital with a story you'll see only on 4.
Courtney, the woman is resting here at SLU Hospitals. Doctors don't expect her to see, talk, or walk again. According to her sister, it's only a matter of days before family members will see Nancy Johnson one last time.
It was a total shock of what happened with my sister.
Francis Rudisil video chats with News 4 about Nancy Johnson and what might have gone on inside her sister's South City home.
There is no reason for something like this to happen to someone. You know, she'd been with this man for 30 years, and he said he loved her, but he was so abusive to her, and we did not know it until just recently.
News 4 learned St. Louis police arrested Johnson's husband, Robert, at SLU. Paramedics called them while rushing Johnson to the emergency room.
The detective told us this is the worst case that she has ever seen, that she was beat so severely. She was hit and kicked in the head until she was unconscious.
Rudisil says it was actually a friend of the couple that called for help after seeing Nancy.
We were thinking maybe whatever conscience he had got to him. He had been packing his bags, had all of her jewelry and a sum of money put in the bag. and he was getting ready to bolt. And he told the paramedics that she fell out of bed.
As Frances Rudisill deals with the pain of losing her sister, she sends a message to others suffering their own way.
I just don't want anyone else to ever have to go through this. If someone is abusing you, get out of that relationship.
Back live outside SLU Hospital, Francis, who lives in Indianapolis, will arrive here at the hospital tomorrow morning. As for Robert Johnson, he's in jail tonight on domestic assault-related charges. Reporting live outside SLU, Vincent Blandon, News 4.
We'll hear all kinds of screaming.
Martha Cranford lives across the street from the parking lot where police say a High Point woman got stabbed Thursday night.
Very scary.
She says the victim's aunt started calling for help.
She said, please get the police out here in an ambulance. He's killing her. He's killing her. Police were all over.
But they still haven't located Clarence Gladden. He's charged with attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. We got his picture from North Carolina Sex Offender Registry and found he has a rape conviction from back in 1994. Police say Gladden and the victim either had or were still in a relationship.
I don't understand it. I really don't.
Police say the victim is at a local hospital.
She's a very sweet person. Very sweet. Do anything for you she can. Just hope and pray for the best.
Special thanks to RG Channel's contributor T. Martin.
And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Also follow us on the usual media for more interesting information like
this. Channel moderators are Jer Shax and Michael Thomas. Thanks for your diligence and dedication. This has been a T. Martin and RG Channel collaboration.
Fight their asses!